You know that feeling when you're trying to build some new furniture or figure out a new app and the instructions are just completely useless? Yeah, we've all been there. But what if all that frustration could just disappear? Well, that's the secret we're exploring today, the art of the technical description. We're going to dive into how you can take really complex information and make it crystal clear for absolutely anyone.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down the basics, what a technical description even is. Then, we'll look at the two main types you'll see, process versus product. After that, we'll get practical and walk through 3 key steps to writing one that actually works. And we'll wrap up by focusing on the language itself, the words that create real clarity. Ready? Let's jump in.
All right, first things first. What are we really talking about when we say technical description? Well, it's way more than just a list of specs. It's the very foundation of clear communication for any product or process out there. At its heart, a technical description is all about being clear and to the point. The whole goal is to take something that feels complicated and make it totally understandable. You know, it's the difference between staring at a new smart TV remote in total confusion and knowing exactly what every single button does in, 5 seconds.
A really great description thinks about everything the user might need. It starts with the why. What's this thing for? Then it gets into the how, the step-by-step. It details the what, all the different parts that make it work. And this is a big one. It prepares you for the what if, giving you help when things go wrong. It's basically a complete support system, all in one document.
Now, while every technical description is aiming for clarity, they generally come in 2 main flavors, process descriptions and product descriptions. And yeah, they might sound similar, but what they focus on is actually pretty different.
So here's where we see a really clear split. A process description is all about action. It's the how-to. It's the guide that walks you step by step through uploading a picture. But a product description, that focuses on the thing itself. It gives you the physical details, like the size, shape, and what it's made of. The specs for a new digital camera.
Right, so when you're writing a product description, you're answering all those physical, tangible questions. What's it made of? What are the exact dimensions? How much does it weigh? It's all about defining the object with total precision so the user knows exactly what they're getting. No surprises.
And this is a perfect example of a product description in action. Notice how it's not about how to use the stethoscope, but what it is. It breaks the object down into its different parts, from the diaphragm all the way to the earpieces. And that's the key, right? You help someone understand the whole thing by introducing them to its parts first.
Okay, now we're going to pivot from the what to the how. A process description doesn't really care about the physical object itself. It's all about the sequence of actions. It answers the question, how does this work, or how do I do this? It's all about flow and getting things done.
Take a look at this example on acid rain. It's not describing a thing at all. It's describing a sequence. It walks the reader through a pretty complex process, how pollutants get into the air, how they change up there, and what happens when they come back down. It's basically telling a story, just in clear, logical steps.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the different types. Now, let's get into the fun part, the how. How do you actually write a description that's clear, effective, and really helps your reader? Well, it all comes down to 3 key steps.
Look, writing a great description really stands on 3 pillars. First, you have to know your audience. Are you writing for an expert or a total beginner? They need different things. Second, tell them the end goal right at the start. It builds their confidence. And third, and this might be the most important one, you have to be the expert. The more you know your subject, the better you can predict your readers' questions and answer them before they even have to ask.
And finally, let's talk about your most important tools, your words. The language you choose can be the difference between a guide that's genuinely helpful and one that just makes people frustrated. Vague words are the enemy of a good technical description. Seriously, a phrase like connect the part to the machine is almost useless. Which part? Where on the machine? Being specific, like plug the USB-C cable into the port on the left side, leaves 0 room for error. Precision is everything.
It's great to use the correct terminology. It shows you know your stuff. But you also have to be a good teacher. You can't just throw out a term like CMOS sensor and expect everyone to get it. You need to quickly define it in simple terms, like that's the part that captures light to create the picture. It's a small thing, but it means you don't leave anyone behind.
Oh, I love this tip. Analogies are such a powerful tool for making things clear. What they do is build a bridge from something your reader already understands to the new concept you're explaining. So, for example, describing a computer's RAM as a workbench for its current projects, that instantly makes an abstract idea feel real and easy to grasp. It's a mental shortcut.
This is so important.
A technical description is not a marketing brochure. Words like amazing or revolutionary don't belong here. Instead of saying our battery life is incredible, you say the battery provides up to 12 hours of continuous use. Just stick to the facts. The goal here is to inform, not to sell.
And last but not least, always try to use active verbs. It just makes your writing feel more direct and energetic. Passive sentences like, the power can be turned on by the button, feel a little weak and wordy. But the active version, the button turns on the power, is simple, clear, and it puts the action front and center. It's a small tweak that makes a huge difference.
So what's the bottom line here? Is that every single tip we've talked about really rests on one thing: your own understanding. The clarity you give your reader comes directly from your own deep knowledge. When you really truly know your subject, explaining it simply becomes second nature.
So now you have the tools to turn complexity into clarity. Think about it: a process at work, a new gadget you bought, a hobby you're really into. How could you use these ideas to explain it to someone? Your next great description is just waiting for you to write it.